This is how you flex in the forest. Outside, it's a balmy -30. But inside this dude's homemade cabin, he's got all the creature comforts. Plus, a fireplace, of course. I'm not jealous, you're jealous. This is Alex, he's dodging a conflict. His solution, dig a fancy hole 6 months early. Plan A, build an epic bunker. The dirt here is just right. Making his wholesome hobby much easier. In no time at all, he had himself a respectable pit. Next, he wrestled some very large logs and gave them a naked makeover with an axe. These will be the cabin's very important legs. Time for a little fire. To make his cabin last a century, he gives the logs a tactical charring. It's nature's anti-rot cream. He eyeballs some measurements and digs holes inside his bigger hole. In go the toasty logs. Then he packs them in with dirt. 4 of these bad boys go up. This cabin's not gonna be small. To make sure things aren't wonky, he busts out the OL leveler. Anything too tall gets the chop. And with that done, he gave the beams some temporary tattoos. The saw made the first move. Then the axe finished the job. And snap, like giant wooden Legos. Nailed it, literally. CTRL plus C, CTRL plus V for the other side. Because if it ain't tight, it ain't right. Time to play and voila, one house skeleton. The sun decided to clock out for the day, making this a problem for future Alex. But smart Alex put a little raincoat on his project. The weatherman wasn't lying for once. When he came back, the forecast had not disappointed. He had no words, only sighs. Yesterday's rain party left a mess. He'd built an accidental swimming pool. Time for ditch digging too, electric boogaloo. He served the puddle an eviction notice. The rest had to be bailed out the hard way. His new plan, add pipes. To prevent future swamp house scenarios. Look at all that lovely mud. Now we just let it bake for a few days. With time to kill, he gave the logs a makeover. A little fine-tuning. Because sharp edges are a no-no. Time to give these logs a haircut. Behold, future walls. But of course, nature had other plans. The plan was to let the logs dry for days, but the weather gods sent immediate snow. So, it was build north. Because sleeping on the street is overrated, especially in a blizzard. He whips out a saw to turn logs into planks, log-splitting magic. Once the sawdust settles, he slathers them in protective goo. This makes them rot-proof, waterproof, and basically immortal. Next, a giant waterproof blanket for the ground. Time to build the front wall. Because his earlier perfectionism paid off, the walls practically assembled themselves. And poof, 4 walls are done. To prevent another indoor swimming pool, he digs a tiny moat around the house. It connects to his fancy underground pipes.
Whoa.
Now, what's a house without? A floor, of course. Alex starts laying down the floor bones. His high-tech leveling tool, a water bottle. Then, more protective goo on more wood. This is supposed to make things easier. He wrangles all the painted planks and begins turning dirt into a floor. Look at those magic hands. So talented. His first cut, flawless. Professional carpenters are weeping right now. Alex just activated turbo mode. And poof, a floor exists. So tidy, it basically cleans itself. To make the house last forever, he slathers on the protective goop. Every single inch gets a coat. Ah, that new cabin smell. Welcome to the Russian wilderness, where the trees are free. Seriously, There are spruce logs everywhere. It's a builder's paradise. While working, Alex casually collected a forest. He peels the logs, like giant woody bananas, and slaps them on the roof. Naturally, he paints those too. This guy loves paint. To speed up move-in day, he went with a flat roof. Lazy, no efficient. But not so efficient, he forgot air holes. Then he just buries the whole thing in dirt. That'll show the wind and snow. Meanwhile, the world turned into a snow globe. Good thing Alex is a speed demon. Why, a flat roof? It's cheap and ridiculously easy to build. Amidst the furious hammering, Alex gets the logs looking sharp. Up on the roof, Ally left a convenient hole for the chimney. This way it can meet its fiery soulmate, the fireplace. With the indoor fireplace, got it. Time for a waterproof tarp blanket. The chimney and vent are now one. Ally has wood chips ready. He's itching to make a fire and defrost his body. Seeing the smoke signals of success, Bally finally relaxes and sizes up the doorframe. He's got a pre-loved door from home. And would you look at that, a perfect fit. With a door installed, the cabin is now officially a heat trap. Welp, the mountains are buried in snow. So much for working outside. Today's agenda: professional hibernating. Ally's building a kitchen next to the fire, because dinner and warmth are a power couple. He didn't forget the insulation panels. Safety first, so the cabin doesn't become the firewood. It's not a big house, but it's a mighty functional one. And with that, he went to pick a fight with some trees. After giving the logs a good peel, he wove a frame. Being a total neat freak, he whipped out a level. And poof, a bed 1.5 meters wide and 1.8 meters long appeared. As the sun clocked out, Ally decided some home security was in order. This way, no surprise bear hugs. The only downside was the complete lack of electricity. So he had to rough it with a backup light. The next day, Ally went bargain hunting and scored some high-quality fluff. By his return, the sky had dumped its entire freezer with half a meter of the white stuff. Ally almost couldn't find his own house. His house had gone full igloo, thanks to all the snow. His new hobby was plank clearing. The entryway looked like it had a rough night. Luckily, he'd finished that door in advance. Looking at the roof, an unwelcome frosty visitor had moved in. Suddenly, that bargain fluff seemed like a genius move. The fireplace had given up the ghost. So Ling went to chop more tree bits. He refilled the wood stash, which was looking sad, and brought the fire back to life. Then he tucked the roof in with its new cotton blanket. Boom, a cozy shack. He wrapped the doorway like a human-sized burrito. Add a tiny fold-out table. And suddenly, there's room-ish. One thing's missing. Fluff for the cracks. Winter is officially cancelled. It's now a tropical 36 degrees Celsius. Even our beefy boy A. Lee is overheating. Time for an emergency snow bath. That'll do the trick. Next, a quick trip for spring water. And with that, the bunker is complete. Ally is one happy camper. Time to celebrate with a feast. Judging by this glorious mush, it's a Russian salad. Chef's kiss. Finally, Alex has a warm home in the wild. So, Alex built this hobbit hole a while back. After living in it for a bit, he realized it was dark as a dungeon. So today, he snagged a used window. Let there be light. He picked a spot and traced the shape. Then, out came the chainsaw for some light surgery. And boom, a perfect fit. Let there be light. And he gets a 24/7 nature channel. As the Great Thaw begins, Alex decides his hole needs a hat, a villa, connecting it to his man cave below. Step 1. A very fancy doorway. Having learned his lesson last time, Alex remembered to add a drain this time. with the frame now basically he brings in the big beefy beams. Like a very slow, woody Jenga game. He used over a dozen of them. Subtle hint, this house will be big. To keep it from falling apart, he slaps on a coat of protective paint. It's pretty, and it's his retirement plan. Everything's ready for the big finish. He begins wrapping it like a wooden present. It's pretty, waterproof, and bam, one wall, done. Now to carve a log into a beam. The roof's easy. Just lay down the fancy cedar boards. These boards laugh at rot and moisture, and will probably outlast civilization. First, some delicate chainsaw art. Then, some therapeutic axe, and voila, a custom fit beam. This roof style, easy mode, maximum practicality. Basically, it's Woody Tetris time. Naturally, he sprung for the fancy cedar. This would tells mold and water to get lost. It's built to last, for real. With the patience of a saint who owns power tools. Boards, laid, boom. The house-shaped object is now house-shaped. Time to give the roof a rain hat. First, wrap it like a giant baked potato. Then, some fancy red tiles he found. This is for curb appeal. And you know, to keep the wet stuff out. Waterproofing, not optional. With the roof done, the leftover foil had a destiny. To make things extra snug, the walls get a tinfoil blanket too. Our boy Alex, ever the planner, left a giant hole for a window. A 2-meter hole, to be exact, panoramic. Now all he has to do is cover everything else, with board after boring board. Rinse and repeat on the other side. Even though the weather was being a jerk, Alex was a man on a mission. And just like that, 4 walls appeared. Now, for the moment of truth. The treehouse had to meet the Hobbit. The connection had to be flawless. Otherwise, hello, indoor swimming pool. So Alex got all obsessive with the details, plugging every single micro leak. After adding a million screws, Alex finally put glass in that giant hole. With a great view, he could now judge the squirrels from afar. The moment he installed the glass, the sky decided to dump its dandruff. Alex engaged turbo build mode. Because, you know, winter, and log cabins don't build themselves. He cleared the snow, again. Then started laying the skeleton for the floor. After locking down timber with angle iron, he rinsed and repeated, laying down some fancy foil so his toes wouldn't freeze off. Then he played floorboard Tetris. He worked until the sun clocked out, and the floor was basically done. The next morning, Alex was at it again. The sunrise was putting on a show. Alex got back to finishing last night's leftovers. He left a secret hatch to the basement and sealed everything else. Behold, a very smooth floor. Next up, wrangling the main door. He started by installing the frame. With a solid, straight frame. Installing the door wasn't a nightmare. He just had to Frankenstein a few boards together to make one sturdy door. It won't win any design awards. Safety, mostly. 2 rooms become 1. It's a shotgun wedding. The room is now officially less empty. Walking between them is a pain though. So Ali's fixing the steps. It's the new Grand Central Station. Comfort is non-negotiable. Down goes the wood floor. Those naked rock walls. He covered them with wood. For modesty. All sharp, pokey bits, gone. It's a balmy 90 degrees Fahrenheit in here. Or 30 Celsius, for the rest of the world. Bailey can finally get some quality shutter. The next morning, the sky was foggy, giving the valley a mysterious can't-see vibe. Bailey washes his face, a true hero. Weather forecast, meh. Time to fetch firewood from over there. Gotta prep for the impending doom of being cold. He returns with a glorious pile of wood. Next up, a breakfast of champions. Because food is fuel. And skipping meals leads to being hungry. Profound. I have to say, that looks edible. And hearty. Fully refueled. He MacGyvers a ladder out of some planks. Now, to build something that stops the wind. This'll keep the pesky drafts out. Our boy Ally is over 30. And an absolute pro. He didn't need blueprints. The whole plan was in his head. the attention to detail, the clever woodwork. It all just screams master craftsman. And just like that, poof, an awning appeared. This cozy little shack is basically done. Bar Lai refueled with some life juice, took a quick break, and got back to sealing the last 2 walls. Being a total perfectionist, he didn't miss a single spot. Once the foam was in, it was a balmy 70 degrees in here. So Ali had to take a bath outside to extinguish his inner fire. The forest became a winter wonderland. So Ali went on a supply run. If you're gonna live here for real, you're gonna need electricity. Some wise-sounding builder's proverb, which basically means Ali started playing with wires. He expertly tamed the wire spaghetti, wiring the palace from the party room to the nap room, leaving tons of space. With the hard part over, it was time to flip the big switch. And just like that, no more stubbing toes in the dark. Outside, the snow kept showing up uninvited. So, Ali went shopping for firewood. The blizzard was just a minor inconvenience. Ali was basically a human bear at this point. He stacked all the planks. To build a cozy anti-blizzard wall. Sunglasses, anyone. It's bright in here. Just as he was feeling proud, a wild buddy appeared, drawn by the commotion. Not even a snowpocalypse can stop a nosy friend. After a quick thaw by the fire, Brother Bar got to work on a hay feeder. Thanks to his trusty chainsaw, he carved that log like a Thanksgiving turkey. Got to admit, that's a genius move. A log for a sink. It's rustic, it's chic. And it actually holds water. Bonus. And with that, Guzzi and Ali scored a new wilderness vacation home. They have electricity now. So obviously, it's time for a massive feast, to celebrate not being cavemen anymore. After all that work, they've earned it. The hustle has paid off. Behold, the pinnacle of Brodom.